The threat of imminent incarceration tends to break the bonds of loyalty, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen family members throw other family members under the bus, husbands, wives. People will ultimately look out for their own self-interest in the end. At 7 p.m. last night, I had a conference call with a client and another attorney in New York. So it was determined that I get to go to New York. So at 7 p.m. last night, I was booking a flight to New York, and we're gonna go deal with this situation, hopefully keep everybody happy and out of jail. It's always a little interesting packing on a moment's notice. But first, I get to go to federal court and do a sentencing before I head to the airport. But even first, before that, we have to do those little things in life that just don't get done unless you do them yourself. Like, take your clothes to the cleaners. So just outside the federal courthouse, and have to go in and do a sentencing. It's always disappointing whenever a young man, young family did some very stupid things, and it's going to affect the next few decades of his life, and not only his life but that of his family. I guess there's a teachable moment in this, is try to not make poor life decisions and think before you act. Just finished in federal court and getting ready to head to the airport. My client was 3 of the 4 participants in a case that is now done, and my client got the lowest sentence of anyone sentenced so far. That's always good. Happy clients. It's always the best result. Little life lesson from that is the threat of imminent incarceration tends to break the bonds of loyalty, ladies and gentlemen. I have seen family members throw other family members under the bus, husbands, wives, people that thought they would never have a lifelong friend turn against them, whether they were participated in something or not, or throw them under the bus, but it's just reality. People will ultimately look out for their own self-interest in the end. So, anyway, at least my client got the lowest sentence. Still, it was hefty, but it was a bad thing they did. So, it all worked out. So, as I said earlier, when your client has an emergency, even if it's on the other side of the country, you do what you can to make it happen. We moved some things around, had some other attorneys in my office, cover some court appearances, and here we go. We're on our way to New York. I'm going to use the time on the plane to prep and just be as productive as possible so that we're not wasting anybody's money. So here we are. So I've arrived in New York City. Didn't have a whole lot of time to take any footage because literally was responding to emails, because apparently whenever I get on an airplane, everything goes on. So anyway, I took care of that. Typical New York hotel room, but although it's a little larger than the last one that I had when I was here. The last time I was in New York City, it was to run the New York Marathon, and the room was so tiny I literally thought I could lay in the bed and touch the walls with my arms spread out, and that was you know, like $400 a night or something. So this is like perfect here for this weekend. So gonna go get some dinner here and go to work for the client. There's the building where George Washington took the oath to be the first President of the United States, right here on the corner of Wall Street and Broad. But on this site in Federal Hall, April 30th, 1789, George Washington took the oath as the first President of the United States of America. There's old George up there. Pretty cool. Here is the New York Stock Exchange building. There's the building. It's been a long day. Had a big sentencing in federal court that went all day. Went straight to the airport. Got my flight, had meetings, had a dinner meeting, and here I am. Can you smell that? Raise your hand if you can smell that. It smells like marijuana here on Wall Street. Crazy. Think you're in Colorado, you can smell the marijuana. Look, the Trump building. Right here on Wall Street. Alright, now let's go try and find that bull on Wall Street. It's got to be around here somewhere. A lot of people out walking their dogs. Of course, a lot of garbage out here too. Still looking for the bull. New York Film Academy. If I could go back and do college all over again, I would go to film school. I would learn how to tell really good stories. I think it's such an amazing medium. And right across the street, what do we have? We have the bull. Look how big the bull is. The bull is huge. Let me see if I can put some perspective. I am 6'3", and the horn. Do you see that? The horn is a good 4 inches above me. And then we have the little girl statue. I can't remember what that was about, but I think it was empowering young women, which is a good thing. But there was something else about it, I can't remember. Alright, go back to the hotel room. Heading back to the room after a night walking along Wall Street. Had to go check out the bull. Had to check out the bull. The irony of it all, one of the richest places in the world and the homeless guy sleeping on their street.